Hi randoms, today we'll be talking about my school experience and growing up being what you would call a weirdo. So hold on and strap in. So where to start? I suppose start way back at the beginning. In primary school I was always the big in height, big in weight kid. Never really had any friends. I used to walk around school by myself quite a lot. In the first and second grade, you could only be in a certain part of the school because that was for the young children. I just remember walking around and around until it was time to go back to class, and that was pretty much my life for the first 2 years of primary school. I then went to year 3 and was able to walk through the rest of the school. In doing so, I found myself being bullied quite a lot by the older children about my weight, which in my eyes, and a really weird way of looking at it, is that them calling me fat, my thought process as a small child, which is again weird, was, well, I really can't say anything because I am, and that's the truth. So they're not lying, it's the truth. So I really didn't do anything about the situation, and that went on quite a lot, walking around school by myself, getting balls thrown at me, names being called out to me a lot. So that was pretty much it. And when I say I was a big girl, I'm talking like I was in year 4 and I was in the choir, and I was in an adult size 18 skirt. Like, they had to special order me in clothes so that I could be in the choir. So I was a very big girl. So that was my year 1 to year 4 experience. In year 5 I found myself going through an early puberty. So I lost a lot of weight and found myself being friends with a lot of the guys at school. Like, I wasn't very much a girly girl, I was more of a guy's girl. So I would ride bikes and BMX and stuff like that, so I would always be around the boys. I found myself 2 girls that I would talk to and sort of took me under their wing and became friends with them, and that was in year 5, 6 and 7. So we were really, really good friends. Well, I thought we were really, really good friends then. And the bullying seemed to stop a little bit. I'm assuming because the older kids have moved on to high school. But yeah, I ended up having 2 really good friends, and then a bigger group of friends because of those friends. But I would say that those 2 were my close friends in primary school. Fast forward to high school. Started at high school. Those 2 friends and I had a falling out. I found another really good friend who I'm still friends with now, her and her twin sister. So that was pretty much the first couple of years of my high school. Now, I thought high school would be different because the high school I went to was a very art-orientated high school, and I'm pretty good at art. Like, I thought I was pretty good at art because of being picked on when I was little. All I would do was draw or colour in, do something artistic. And when I went to high school, I was super stoked because I could express myself that way. And in doing so, for the year 8, year 9 here in Australia you have things that you have to do in art, like you don't have full expression of art. There's like things that the teacher wants you to do and it has to be a specific way, which is fine, and that's how you learn techniques and stuff like that. Fast forward to year 10. Year 10, I was having a bit of a rough time. Realistically, the only reason why I was going to school was because of my friends, who by that time the twins had left. So the other two were back into my grace at that point in time. We weren't as tight as we were when we were in primary school. And art was the one thing I wanted. So in year 10, the teacher gave us a wide range of an art project that we could do, and I thought, all right, I could have creative freedom. So I went through and done the piece that I was super proud of and something that I interpreted the art piece to be. Now, when I handed this in, I got an F, and upon getting that F, the teacher said, this isn't art and this isn't what I wanted. So as of the end of that lesson, I went from my art building to the office and got the office to ring my mother. My mother came and picked me up and said to me, if you no longer want to go to school, you will need to get a job or go in and learn a skill to get a job. So from that afternoon on, I started working pretty much from then on in. Full-time, part-time. I also studied full-time, but also worked part-time, if that makes sense. So basically what I'm saying is I went through all of that time and sort of pushed all of this bullying to myself from other children, bullying from teachers, because that's exactly what that teacher did in many ways, because she told me more than once that it wasn't art, that she would not class what I did as art, and it wasn't what she wanted. So that's a form of bullying. Basically what I'm saying is, if you can just stop and reflect on how you say something, or just sort of jump on the other side of the person that you're saying it to and think of how this is making them feel. Because I'd never dealt with any of this bullying at all until much later on in life. I found out that I have severe social anxiety and I have general anxiety where just doing the smallest thing or seeing something makes me have panic attacks, and I've got depression and stuff like that. So there's the two things that I want out of this video is, one, please make sure that if you're being picked on, that not only do you deal with the situation, but you also tell an adult, someone that you trust, to help you out with the situation. And two, if you're bullying, just step back and take a look at yourself to find out why it is you're doing it. Like, there is no need for it. Like, I understand that maybe it makes you feel better or it makes you look tough. Like, it makes no sense, and you think, oh, they'll get over it, they'll harden up, or whatever it is that they'll do. Yeah, they might not seem to be affected by it at that point in time, but later on in life, things like this can really mess somebody up. So if anyone's watching and they're going through being bullied, just know that you're definitely not alone, and this happens more than you would like to think. And don't do what I did and push everything down. Like, try to deal with it. I tried to talk to my parents and stuff like that, and I understand that it's something that they didn't go through in life, and I saw how hard it was, and seeing the way it affected my parents coming home and telling them that I got picked on during the day. So I would just come home and not say anything. I would go to school, walk around by myself, go to class, come home, all by myself, and wouldn't say anything, so not to upset, or not really upset, but I can't think of the word right now. But just know that trying to not deal with something isn't the best way to do it, because I am like proof that that is not the way to do it now. I've always thought that I was a very strong person and nothing ever got to me. It did. It just took many years for it to catch up, and not only by me not dealing with it and repressing it and or however you say it, I've found myself later on that because of the anxiety and depression and stuff like that, I now have got health problems that are caused by this. So please, if you're someone that bullies because of other people telling you to do so, just think about what it is that you're doing. And if you're being bullied, know that you're going to come out of it, and it's going to be fine in one way or another. Don't end your life or anything like that. Like, that's not the best way out, because technically that bully wins, and it's a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth. So you do need to have a warrior way of looking at things, but you also have to know that talking to people and having a relationship with an adult that you can trust is a big thing. So I suppose that's pretty much all I want to talk about today for this video. I know it might be a bit all over the place, and it's reasonably short, but I just thought that I'd put my personal experience out there and hope that maybe it helps somebody, hopefully somebody that's bullying somebody, so that they don't do it. But in any case, just if you're being bullied, please make sure that you find somebody you can talk to, someone that can help you, and please don't go down the route of hurting yourself or hurting somebody else, because that's definitely not the way it should go. And if anything, I'd just like you to think that everything will eventually be okay, whether it's through some form of talking to a doctor or something like that. It will get better, and you will be able to deal with the situation. And just remember not to bottle things up. So I hope you are all having a great day, and remember to do what you can do for today. Alright, bye randoms.